state leaders sorting through the latest report from California's legislative analysts. That report shows hard conversations may need to happen on the state's spending this upcoming year. The LAO report shows California faces a $25 billion budget shortfall next year, with deficits between $8 to $17 billion over the next 4 years.
It's not a surprise.
H.D. Palmer is the spokesman for the Department of Finance, which has been tracking a dip in state revenues. So far, the state is short $7 billion in tax revenue compared to what was expected over the last 4 months. The problem starts with the state's highest earners, which the state relies on most. Their money directly or indirectly impacted by inflation, an underperforming stock market, the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, and tech layoffs and other recent economic factors in and outside of the state. Palmer has seen several budgets in his time working through 3 different state administrations over the last 2 decades.
We're in a much better position to deal with that. In fact, Moody's Analytics, which is an offshoot of one of the 3 major financial rating agencies, just last month did their state-by-state survey of who's the best prepared to deal with an economic downturn. California was in the top 5.
For that, state leaders point to prudent spending decisions, including the use of California's last 2 budget surpluses. In anticipation of a potential downturn coupled with state spending laws, Governor Gavin Newsom's administration and lawmakers decided to use most of that money on one-time spending, like those Golden State stimulus checks and gas rebates. They did this to avoid adding to the state's ongoing spending commitments. They also deposited a chunk of that money into reserves, which now sits at a record $37.2 billion. The legislative analyst is urging lawmakers to consider finding ways to close the budget hole outside of tapping into the rainy day fund for now.
Keep the powder dry, as it were, so that if by May, when we have more information, the budget problem has gotten worse or the economy has deteriorated even more than we expect, then certainly those reserves would be available to help supplement the other solutions that have been identified.
The LAO's projection does not account for a recession, which state officials note could make these numbers worse. Democratic lawmakers vowed to protect the state's recent expansion of access to health care, free meals to school children, and early childhood education.
The report is clearly a wake-up call.
Assemblyman Vince Fong is the vice chairman of the Assembly Budget Committee.
And we need to begin to reevaluate our spending priorities, the constant push to spend money without any accountability and oversight. And, that is a recipe for economic disaster.
With this report, it's now up to lawmakers to decide how to avoid an economic disaster in California. In Sacramento, Ashley Zavella, KCRA 3 News.
And using the new numbers and projections, Governor Newsom is expected to present his proposed state budget in January. We'll have to see what he comes up with then.